down in Jeremiah chapter 22, and we got down, last week we got down to verse 5, but if ye will, and this is an exhortation to repentance, okay, to the nation of Israel, and but if ye will not hear these words, I swear by myself, God says, saith the Lord, that this house shall become a desolation. Okay? Again, desolation, destruction, and all of that, pestilence, famine. We come down to verse 6, starting this week. And now remember, actually, chapter 22, now we kind of hear in this part of Jeremiah, a lot of the chapters, the timeline is mixed up. Okay, they're not in chronological order, and these are kind of separate prophecies made at separate times, and they're not in chronological order. My Bible with the the date in it says that this one was probably written in 609 BC. Okay. Chapter 21 was written later in 589 BC. Remember, BC, the dates go down. Okay. So, this is even before King Nebuchadnezzar's first trip down the Battle of Carchemish in 605 BC. So this is even before that. Okay, and verse 2, hear the word of the Lord, O King of Judah, that sittest on the throne of David and thy servants. But anyway, come down to verse 6. Thus saith the Lord unto the king's house of Judah. Okay. God told Jeremiah to go to the king's house. Okay. This is a prophecy about him. Unto the king's house of Judah, thou art Gilead unto me. Thou art thou art Gilead? Okay. Well, Gilead, we got a little lesson on, I've got this nice little who's who and where's where in the Bible. Okay. Gilead is a place. Okay. It's east of the Jordan River in what is now Jordan, and it's east of the Jordan River, and it's about a 20-mile wide strip of land, and it's known in Bible times as Gilead, and apparently it's a very productive land. It's grazing land, rich in grazing land, heavily forested, okay? And it was actually a place where many people fled for safety. Okay? Thou art Gilead unto me. He's telling the king, he's actually telling the king, you are a safe place unto me. Okay? But there's a problem there. Okay? Safe place where many people fled for safety. Jacob fled from his father-in-law. Israelites from Philistine soldiers. King David during the revolt by his son Absalom. And in a forest there in Gilead, in this region called Gilead, okay, and is where Absalom's long hair got stuck in a branch. He was riding his whatever, and he got riding his mule through in a battle there, and they're fighting, and his long hair. So, you want to know why long hair is not really good for you. Oh, I just, I have these wild thoughts. No, Absalom with long hair and a man bun. Anyway, think of these strange things. Yeah, but his hair got stuck, yanking him off his mule during a battle, leaving him dangling there, where David's soldiers found him and killed him. And Gilead, this region, was also where the medicinal tree sap, Casey had frankincense and myrrh, which is actually, sap from trees, but where this medicinal tree sap called the balm of Gilead was produced. So that's Gilead. Okay. So thou art a Gilead unto me, and the head of Lebanon. So then it would have been part of Lebanon, and Mount Lebanon. It was a high place there. Okay. Yet surely, I will make thee a wilderness. Again, this is warning to the king's family. Okay. To me, to God, you're a safe place if you follow me and the head of Lebanon. Okay. Surely I will make thee a wilderness and cities which are not inhabited. And again, this is, shortly, this is when 4 years before the big battle of Carchemish, and when Nebuchadnezzar came down the first time on his way to Egypt, and Jerusalem was collateral damage. Okay? But again, a warning, you guys are not trusting me. You guys are worshiping all these idols, and make thee a wilderness, and surely I will make thee a wilderness and cities which are not inhabited. And I will prepare destroyers against thee. Okay? God led Nebuchadnezzar. God had a purpose for Nebuchadnezzar, even though he was a heathen, idol-worshiping, unbeliever. He will be a believer eventually. But the destroyers, instruments of judgment against thee, every one with his weapons, big army, and they shall cut down thy choice cedars. Remember, one thing about Lebanon, a lot of the lumber, the cedar wood for Solomon's temple came from Lebanon. Okay? The cedars of Lebanon. And these destroyers, they're going to come in and cut down those choice cedars and cast them into the fire. Now, is this a prediction, if you will, of what's going to happen to Solomon's temple when Nebuchadnezzar comes back the second time? And the choice cedars, they would have been the best wood. If you're going to build a house, you're going to want the best wood, right? And Jerry's you're having a new log cabin built, right? And you're I'm sure they are looking for the best logs for your cabin, right? Okay. That's the idea here. Okay? The choice cedars, the best wood was used for Solomon's temple. And they were cut down and cast into the fire. And many nations shall pass by this city. This is about Jerusalem. And they shall say, every man to his neighbor, wherefore hath the Lord done this unto this great city. Why did God do this? Well, the answer is real easy. Then they shall answer, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God. Covenant is a contract, okay? It's a binding contract. What happens if you what? Forget about, you sign a binding contract. You're going to buy a house, right? You sign a binding contract, a covenant with the seller, okay? And then you go back on your deal, you quit making payments, all of that sort of stuff, right? Similar picture. They've forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God and worshipped other gods and served them. Okay? Remember, I've mentioned this before. Once a year, they would go up to the temple, do their thing. The Jewish people were instructed to go to the temple at least once a year. They were instructed to do that. Take your offering to the temple. Okay, make sure it's the correct offering. Okay, but then they'd go up there and they're doing, they say they think they're doing all the right stuff, right? Okay, but then as soon as they got home, if they took a lamb for an offering, they might keep back part of the lamb, the offering to the Lord, and take that home and give part of their supposed offering to the Lord, to the one true God. They'd set that out there for in their little shrine for Baal. They'd give Baal this offering, and it would sit there and get moldy, because Baal didn't have any use for what's he going to do with? But anyway, so they've forsaken the covenant, worshipped other gods, served them. Okay. Weep not ye for the dead, neither bemoan him. We've got a little change of subject here in verse 10. Okay. Again, 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to die. 2/3 of the people are going to die through all of this. And there's don't even cry for the dead. Many of them, they're going to, by the sword, pestilence, famine, whatever. Don't cry for them. They're going to be dead bodies all over the place. You can escape. You can desert your nation and go over to Babylon, or you can be taken captive, or whatever. But don't cry for them. Oh, isn't there an oldie song?
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
That might be it. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, maybe that's the one I was thinking. Yeah.
Say that again. Which one?
Don't cry for me, Argentina. Huh?
Who knew that?
Yeah. Jerry did.
That's something wrong with him.
The musical Evita? Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, don't cry for... Sorts of interesting stuff comes up, when you're thinking about, how do I illustrate this? Okay, well, there's this song. Yeah. Anyway, but weep sore for him that goeth away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country. Okay? A lot of the Daniel and his three friends, when they were taken captive, okay, they never returned to Israel. And there was, a bunch of captives that never returned. But it says, weep sore for him that goeth away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country.
Why does it say that when a lot of them 70 years later got to go back?
Yeah, well, a lot of them did. And Ezra and Nehemiah, they got to go back. They rebuilt the walls of the city, and they rebuilt the second temple. But, a lot of them did get to go back, but a lot of them stayed. Okay? Remember, Daniel became, high up in the Babylonian government, but he still followed the Lord. He followed the Lord, but he is one that went away and never returned. Okay? But and then they did get to go back, but a lot of them didn't. And for thus saith the Lord, touching Shallum, okay, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. Now, we're not sure. Okay, Shallum was, well, let's see, who is Shallum? Okay, Shallum was Zedekiah's warning. First, Shallum, successor for Josiah, and he took the name of Jehoahaz. Okay, Shallum and Jehoahaz. If you look in your, and I didn't pass out my little thing, but Shallum would have been Jehoahaz, son of Josiah, and Jehoahaz. I think he I'll have to look on my timeline. I think he only lasted a very short time. He didn't last very long. So he was king. He was son of Josiah, king of Judah, and which he did reign. It says here in verse 11, which reigned instead of Josiah, his father. Remember, Josiah was one of the good kings. Okay? He had the temple renovated. The book of the law was found, and he had that read. He cut down a lot of the groves and Baal worshiping spots. But Shallum, okay, for thus saith the Lord, touching Shallum, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, which reigned instead of Josiah his father, which went forth out of this place, he shall not return thither any more. Okay? So Shallum never returned. He left. He never returned.